Mr. Mayor, council members, my name is Jonathan Grenade. Thank you guys for allowing us the opportunity to present today for the City Solicitor position. I'm here with my colleagues Bob Dallas and Jen DeBon, who I'll get into a little more detail about them after a while. But I wanted to initially start out and just say thank you. I appreciate this process. This is part of the process that this city, that Brookhaven, has set up. That you guys have decided to do these things and to allow folks to come in and make presentations and be considered for these positions. And that's the kind of thing that makes Brookhaven different from a lot of the other cities surrounding it. I'll say that I have a vested interest in Brookhaven's success. I live in Brookhaven. I've been a Brookhaven resident for about 10 years. I first lived in District 1. I have since moved to District 3. So, sorry. Who knows? Maybe I'll wind up back in District 1 before it's all over, or could wind up over in District 2. You never know. My wife's a real estate agent, so that's my lot in life. I think that it's important. One of the things that I think is important, one of the reasons why Brookhaven was founded was so that we could have a government that is close to the citizens, that is local, that has council members, a mayor locally, where people can go, the citizens who live in Brookhaven can go and seek out their government officials, talk to them, and deal with situations that they have. They can talk about fixing potholes, they can talk about the budget, they can talk about whatever they need to do. I think that it's important that I'm in the city of Brookhaven and that I would be an accessible government official in the city of Brookhaven to those who have an interest in talking about the municipal court and the way things are handled and the prosecutions that are going on in that court. It also allows the city to take advantage of the fact that of a partnership between the law enforcement, the police department in the city of Brookhaven, which is critical to the success of law enforcement in the city of Brookhaven, in my opinion, is that there's a visible law enforcement presence. And that's really, in effect, what you're asking the solicitor to do is to be a law enforcement official in the city. I mentioned my wife. I am married. I've got 2 kids. I've got one daughter at St. Martin's Episcopal School. I've got one at St. James United Methodist Church, the preschool there, member of the St. James United Methodist Church. I've got my undergraduate degree from the University of Georgia. I went to Emory Law School and graduated from there in 1999. Out of law school, I practiced out in the suburbs of Augusta. Currently, I'm here in Atlanta, living in Brookhaven, practicing at the law firm Gilson. The firm is located in the King building, right across 285 from Brookhaven, over in Sandy Springs. And we have 16 attorneys there. My practice right now is generally civil litigation. A lot of insurance defense work. Most of it is automobile insurance defense work, where I'm defending insureds who have been involved in a traffic accident, usually receiving some sort of traffic citation as a result of that accident. Several folks who have been DUI. And so I'm frequently dealing with similar issues that we'll deal with in the municipal court. Also, with regard to that practice in the insurance defense arena, it's a high volume practice. I've got a large number of cases. I've got 3 associate attorneys that help me manage those caseloads, and other staff, paralegals, who deal with that. One of our insurance clients, one of my insurance clients, has a large number of Spanish-speaking insureds, so it's very important that we have folks on staff who speak Spanish, and we do. I think that's critically important when you're talking about having a solicitor's office that can communicate with the Spanish-speaking population that's in Brookhaven. before I came back to Atlanta and joined Casey Gilson, I was an assistant district attorney in the Toombs Judicial Circuit, where I was in charge of all the misdemeanor prosecutions in McDuffie County and all prosecutions from traffic tickets to murder in Tolliver County. Those are, as I said, the suburbs of Augusta. And during my tenure there, a couple of things jump out at me that I think help in this solicitor function. One is the partnership that I developed with the law enforcement agencies down there, the Sheriff's Department, police departments of the various municipalities, Georgia State Patrol, and the GBI. I partnered with them on cases and on training in advance of them making cases, so that when their cases came to court and when they made citations or made out DUI cases or they were investigating burglaries or whatever, they came as good cases. That is critically important, again, to the law enforcement aspect of the solicitor's function, is making sure that the cases that the municipal police department, city police department makes are good cases. And I think it's important to work hand in hand with those agencies. Also, I was frequently asked to appear by the probate court judges and the municipal court judges to appear in their courts to assist with the prosecution of criminal offenses in their courts. So I do have experience prosecuting in municipal courts and in probate courts as well. A part of my team in the solicitor's function would be Bob Dallas, who some of you guys know, and maybe all of you know Bob. He's a DeKalb County resident. Unfortunately, he's not a Brookhaven resident, but he's a Dunwoody resident. But he has close ties to the to the city of Brookhaven. For instance, he serves on the board of the Cowart Ashford Dunwoody YMCA, and he's very heavily involved in the community. And when I say community, I mean in the sense of all of DeKalb County and the North DeKalb area. Bob brings a couple of things to the table that I think are really important. One is he was Governor Perdue's director of the Governor's Office of Highway Safety. There he was charged with implementing programs to deal with specific traffic related problems, DUIs, teen driving, accidents, things like that. He can bring to the table as an assistant solicitor the ability to put together programs in place that the municipal court should have in order to deal with specific issues that we're dealing with on a daily basis that are important to the citizens of Brookhaven, and that involves teen driving, DUIs, and things like that. Another thing that Bob has done, he's been a planning commissioner for first DeKalb County and then now the city of Dunwoody for 16 years, and has been heavily involved in zoning and things like that. He understands the importance of code enforcement, which would be one of the responsibilities of the solicitor's office, to handle code enforcement. One of the things that I think that he realizes and has impressed upon me is that code enforcement, it's critically important to a law enforcement component as well as just a good municipal thing that should be done. It helps us realize the vision that we had when Brookhaven was established, is we want this to be a shining city, as Mayor Davis says, you know, the jewel of the Southeast. That's something that you can use. It's a tool that the code enforcement is important to doing. It's fixing the broken windows. It's cleaning up the graffiti, cleaning up the apartment complexes that are run down, which it helps from an overall standpoint in the community. Jen DeBon is here with me as well. She joined Casey Gilson last year from the DeKalb County Public Defender's Office. She was there for a little over 5 years defending similar cases as to what she would be handling on the opposite side in the municipal court. She began her career in the Public Defender's Office in DeKalb County and DeKalb County Recorder's Court, prosecuting the exact same type of offenses that she would be handling as an assistant solicitor in the Brookhaven Municipal Court. I think that's very important, and I think that she has that experience. I would just like to say that, you know, we're willing to work hard to make the solicitor's office, you know, a great asset to the city, a partnership with law enforcement, a partnership with you guys. We want to be accountable to you and to the public. I think that's important. We will be accountable. I understand what it's like having clients and responding to clients and being responsive to them. And that's exactly what we'll do.
Well, thank you. We have 5 minutes for questions now. If you don't have any questions.
Your comment about having worked with the Latino community, expanded that a little bit more. Do you actually have Hispanic attorneys or staff? Or
staff. We have Hispanic staff. I actually recently attempted to hire a couple of folks who have had Spanish-speaking ability. My personal paralegal and assistant is a Spanish-speaking individual. She has a lot of experience interviewing clients, witnesses, contact. I mean, unfortunately, my Spanish is not up to par, but she does a fantastic job interviewing witnesses and clients and communicating with them, and acting even as an interpreter, where I can sit down and communicate through her to clients.
Let me ask you this: so this is your team. So will you be the head of the team, or would you be prosecuting, and then Bob, and then Jen, or how does that? Tell me how you would work that.
I would be the head of the team. I would be the solicitor.
All right.
And they would both serve in an assistant solicitor capacity.
All right.
So we would work together as a team to handle the court functions.
So what if it's, obviously there would be a fee for this. What if it's not necessary to have 3 people at all times in court?
And I'm not saying, right, I don't anticipate that it would be necessary to have 3 people in court every single time.
Right.
I would anticipate that there would probably be 1 to 2 attorneys in court at any given time.
Right.
I doubt that we would ever need 3 individuals there at a time.
We got a great police force, and they're really nailing it.
If they are, you know, if they are, and and it's that busy, then we have the capacity to meet whatever need there is. In other words, if there's
to expand beyond the 3 here.
Absolutely, we do. We have 16 attorneys in the firm, and we're growing.
And one of the issues that you mentioned that, you know, I'm not an attorney nor have I played one on TV, so I'm still sort of learning all this.
Sleep at a Holiday Inn Express.
Yeah, the code enforcement issue. I mean, I could see us, you know, having a day a week where it's nothing but, you know, processing code issues. So, I'm sorry.
Environmental.
Yeah. Yeah. So, you know, so having Bob's experience from a captain of code standpoint, I think can be valuable.
Let me just ask you though about your own, I guess, perspective and demeanor. I'm sure when you were an assistant DA, you know, to me it seemed like part of the challenge is finding that balance between being tough on code, tough on crime. You know, we're serious about cracking down on traffic, speeding, and all of that. On the other hand, you don't want necessarily throw people in jail for throwing gum on the street, or you know, you don't want the word to get out that we're just going, you know, that we're too extreme the other way. How do you find, what's the best way to strike that balance?
That is a very difficult balance to strike. That is something that was instilled in me to find that balance with the district attorney that I worked for, was Dennis Sanders, and he made it clear, and this is my belief as well, is that not every, you know, my goal as a prosecutor was not to prosecute everybody to the fullest extent of the law and throw everybody and win at all costs. Absolutely not.
Well, that's, you know, that's a common problem with prosecutors. A lot of times you get those that don't care, but they just want to get a win rather than what's best.
Right. Now, what I learned is that for a prosecutor, your role is to seek justice. And I know justice is a little bit of a nebulous term, you know, and it's in the eye of the beholder. But the idea is that you're not going to ride people and beat them over the head unless they deserve to be ridden and beaten over the head, unless they're repeat offenders. You know, the goal is to encourage people to comply with the law, to obey the law, and to know when you've got that level of, you know, we have to hit you hard versus, you know, this is a case where it doesn't warrant winning at all costs, or it warrants, you know, some reasonable resolution depending on the facts and circumstances of the case. Now, that having been said, I know that's a little squishy, but that's the way, you know, Georgia has left its laws, is that there's a lot of prosecutorial discretion in how to pursue cases. I think that's something that you guys can watch and learn from, you know, the prosecutor that you select as the solicitor in your court. And if you guys are getting feedback that it's somebody that's riding the citizenry too hard, then that's, you know, when it comes time to say, well, wait a minute, maybe we need to make a change. Maybe something's not right. Maybe we need to have a discussion. Living in the community is important too. I did that. I lived in a community, small circuit, where you know, I had to prosecute my neighbors. I prosecuted a former sheriff. I prosecuted the coroner when I had to. So you can have to make some tough decisions.
Last quick question: professionalism in dealing with opposing counsel and things of that nature. What's your 30-second philosophy on that? How you and your staff would work with opposing counsel, because we don't want to get a reputation. You know,
absolutely not. My feeling about that is, from a standpoint of prosecution, I'm not there to hide the ball. I'm not there to go blindside somebody in court. I would do this as an assistant district attorney. I would open up my file. I would invite the defense lawyer to come look at my file and say, you know, here's my file. This is my case. You know, I think that, you know, this is what this case warrants, a plea to whatever. No, I believe that professionalism is important, and that you absolutely should be professional, because, I mean, it's not just the city's reputation; it's my reputation. You know, I don't want that reputation as the bad guy who's there, you know, riding everybody hard, and beating people over the head and surprising them in court and lying to them about what I'm going to do.
All right. Well, thank you very much. We appreciate it.
Thank you. I appreciate that.